Hi folks, and welcome back. So my first attempt at trying to defend us Poland against the Germans historically ended in disaster. But fear not, for I have a cunning plan, and I think take two is going to be way more successful. I'm just making sure this is recording properly. Had some issues with the tech today. Looks okay at the moment. So, yes, so, I mean, we made mistakes before, which we discussed in the last video, but I have a new plan that's going to work. But let's quickly talk about our political options so you can see why I'm going with the one that we're going with. So there are options in the tree, and this is by far, I think, Poland's best, most powerful option. But we're not going to do this. It's totally ahistorical and slightly broken. This is to assemble a Regency Council and replace our current government with a monarchy, and you've got the choice of, I think, 4 different monarchs who will turn up by event, and you can pick one of those to come back. And then, whichever one you go with just an extra couple of clicks on the focus tree, you can end up taking all of Romania, all of Czechoslovakia, all of Lithuania, depending on who you go for. And of course, you get all their industries and population and everything. It just comes over. And it's just like that. It's too easy. And don't get me wrong, it looks like a really fun way to play in non-historical. But it seems like it might be a bit broken. It's a bit like UK in the 1930s bringing George back to the throne and abolishing the government, and then America suddenly saying, yeah, you know what, we'll have some of that too, and rejoining the British Empire. So it's not going to be an option for our historical playthrough, because I want to see if we can stop the Germans properly. And so we've also got the option of going to the right, fascist, or communist or democratic with the Peasants' Revolt. I'm not doing either of those because they will mess the country up. We're going to go with kind of what we did before, but go over slightly to the right. So it's centre-right. I think that's how we describe it, but neutral. We're not going fascist. It's going to be this. But what I've realised through a little bit of playtesting is that this is all a huge, great big waste of time in Poland's war preparations, because what it really needs is to just go all out on the industry. You have to have the factories in place to build all the equipments you'll need to hold the Germans off, to build the forts you'll need. And you have to do this first, and then afterwards you can start worrying about getting the government system right. So it means you're going to have this debuff for the first 3 years of the game, possibly a little bit longer, yeah, a bit longer, where you have increased costs for economy and political laws and conscription laws. Political power is at a penalty. It's a problem, and you've got even more penalties because you've got these two to deal with, although they don't get upset until you start messing with the government. But it's all a huge load of great big debuffs. But we're just going to have to eat that to get the industry in place. And I have a plan for how we're going to hold off this time, and you're going to see this, and I'm fairly confident this is going to work. So let's get started. Let's just make sure, yeah, my sound is coming through loud and clear. The webcam seems to be working. It wasn't earlier, and that wasted a whole load of my time today. So I apologise if I'm a little bit nervous looking over there all the time, just to make sure it's all still recording. It's not the camera's fault, by the way. It's a piece of Elgato equipment that's gone wrong, or in the process of going wrong. So we've got the basic research going off. We'll expand that later. Civilian factories are going to be spent making military factories at the start of the game. Yes, we have penalties, but we need to get these factories in place to get equipment rolling out the door. And we're going to do it in areas that we're going to control at the end of the day, which is going to be this area. Well, sorry, this area here. You're going to see exactly what we're going to defend. Let's get one of those. Let's also get some artillery on the go. We're going to need lots of artillery for this plan. Lots of anti-air. So the needs and requirements haven't really changed at all since the last one. We're going to start off, we are going to go for Danzig, but not first. We're going to start off with a 4-year plan to get construction speed up and the industry bonus as well. And we're going to get factories out of that too. So we're going to change that for the newer small frame fighter. We are going to build aircraft. We're going to try and defend. And speaking of aircraft first, let's just deal with those, because what we've got there is surplus to requirements for the moment. Oh, and the Navy. We're going to make use of the Navy. We've got to keep an eye on it, but we're going to send them out training, because we can use the subs at the start to interrupt German transports coming over here. So that's something we can play with. Yeah, we'll just put this guy in. That's fine. Let's add everything into one big army for now. We get the cavalry out of there. Let's put them in there. We're going to have a nice defensive field marshal to give us the entrenchment bonuses. We're going to change the mountaineers over to infantry, because we're not going to be fighting in mountains, and we desperately need infantry divisions to hold here. So let's just select half of those if we can. Is it going to let us? There we go. And we actually want 10. Put that in a new army. We're going to have 3 armies of 10 each, and we're going to form a triangle with them. You'll see. You're going to see how this works. Let's get our most defensive leaders in place. He's quite good. Who else have we got up here? Entrenchment bonus there. And for the last one, entrenchment bonus there. So these 3 forces, each one is going to hold one side of this triangle from here, behind the river, over the river there, because these areas here are stacked full of, well, the important resources are down here, so we need to hold this, basically. It's super critical, and this is a little line running up there, and that leaves our last guy. He's going to be the one holding Warsaw. I hope I've made the right choice there. Now, I've got to say, this strategy relies on everything being selected perfectly in the focus trees, and everything going right, and it's just me keeping an eye on things and getting the timing just right. One wrong choice with either the political points or in the focus tree at the wrong time could mean a disaster. So I think that's kicking off. Let's make sure everyone gets training when they arrive. That's good so far. And let's go... Sorry, we don't need to produce anything. Go into here. We can make interwar small airframe. Let's put those guys up. Let's put 2 up. And we'll set them off training for now. Straight over to the international market and sell those. The whole lot. And get a little bit of boost to our production. Okay, so that's the start. And away we go. Let's speed things up. We have till 1939. So the idea is that we hold this triangle. We're behind rivers. We're going to have forts built. But we have to time the production of the forts perfectly to coincide with the bonuses from the focus tree. And this is why going down the focus tree for the government to fix that, because it'll fix a lot of issues, like it'll fix that. It'll help with everything up here. That has to be done second to the industry, because it takes so much time to sort Poland's governments out. They're like at a huge disadvantage to other nations if you're going to try and play historically. I'm looking forward to a monarchy playthrough at some point, because that just looks crazy. Anyway, we're going to go down this. We're going to have some civilian factories to give us an early bonus. Political points. They're going to be hard to come by, and they're going to be hard to save up, because we've got this debuff on them. Italy's going all in North Africa. We need to get rid of the civilian economy because of the consumer goods factory problem. That will be fixed with Gdansk, and we need that, and we also need to put a chief of the army in to get experience points to change the templates. And all this relies on political power, which is also needed for other things as well. So we're sitting with this penalty to that, but it's a trade-off. It has to be a compromise. We make do with that so that we can build the industry, and it's the industry that's going to save us. Trust me on this one. If you're wondering why I'm not doing anything with the cavalry, it's because they're all going to be spent shortly. So Central Region Strategy gives us some military factories. Sorry, it's civilian factories. And this one will give us military, which I'm going to grab now while we build up the political power. And then we're going to rush through the Gdansk focuses. The remilitarization of the Rhineland. Germany is posturing. They're up for causing trouble, I can tell. Right, okay. So yes, we're going to cede a lot of Poland to the enemy when they attack. We can't avoid that, unfortunately. We just can't. I mean, I've seen it done in videos, but it's extremely difficult. And I don't know how people manage to create the factories and tanks and equipment that they do, because we can't. So we'll have that one, and we'll have the radio next. New Polish industry. And then we go down to Gdansk, or Danzig. And the reason for this is that once we've cleaned that out with the focus tree, we can change our embargoed economy to the export-focused one. Does it automatically from the focus tree. Again, saving us political points, but it gives us that option. And that is a much better situation to be in for everything. Construction, research, the whole business. Let's put something into support equipment so we get a nice stock of that built up. Oh, there's another one. I'll start building up a stock of aircraft as well. The early aircraft are not great. We can't do much to change those later on because for all we can research the components, no problem. We can't put a design together because we can't spare the political power to put a chief of the Air Force in. So this is why Poland is in such a bad state at the start of the game with this. It's really tough. So if you guys crashed, yes, you have. We don't have the option to repair yet, I suspect. That's okay. It's okay. We will soon. Oh, nice. Poland seizes Danzig. Established by the Treaty of Versailles in 1920, the Free City of Danzig has, until today, been an independent nation under the protection of the Polish state. However, with tensions mounting around the German-Polish border and the refusal of the Danzig government to allow Polish trade through the city port, the Polish government has declared today that Danzig is no longer a free city. Already the streets of Danzig are being filled with Polish soldiers with the sole mission of increasing the state's power over the city. Albert Forster and many of the Nazi Party members have gone into hiding, and there is talk of a rebellion and eventual defection to the German Reich. Ha! Well, no, there won't be. So, just make sure this is on pause, because if this runs away too fast on us, we lose the game. It is literally going to be that tight. So how much time have we got before the Peasants' Revolt? 223 days. Potentially enough time for 3 70-day things. That has to be one of them. So, and that has to be another. So we can do 35, 35, that and that. So let's go for this one. For an instant military factory. If we have to finish it early, it's fine. This is why we have political power. Because we raid the Nazi resistance, get rid of them, and I think we want the unification propaganda. Daily compliance, we do that. I think that's the right two to do on there. It works eventually anyway. Let's put the resistance up. Oh, and we don't have enough troops for the garrison, which is why we sacrifice the cavalry to do that. But I think the problem there is actually support equipment, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Excellent. So we're going to go down dispersed industry with our bonus that we got. And that's going to help when we get bombed the crap out of, as I'm sure we will. And at that point, we can start training up some of these, which we're going to have to add in. That'll be fine. That'll be fine. We don't have the resources for any of this. Oh, dockyards. Make sure we have one in the repair queue at all time. We're going to need that. And we're actually going to build convoys. And the reason we're going to build convoys is we can trade them away through the arms dealer. So that's all part of the sneaky, cunning plan. Let's repair him. And repair him. And I think the rest are actually quite happy and content at that point. The ORP Witcher, the Berza. There was a Polish destroyer that managed to escape, and it joined the force of the Royal Navy. I think it was spelled something like the Bliskowice. Obviously not pronounced like that because my Polish pronunciation is I just apologise for it now. I'm sorry, but it was like really instrumental in defending the Isle of Wight during a German air raid. Like the anti-aircraft gunners on it, like stuck to the guns and helped fight it off. So I think they were recognised. There might even be a statue or something to it on the Isle of Wight to sort of commemorate the effort that the Polish sailors put in. And probably sacrificed. I don't know if there's any of them killed or injured in the attack. But yeah, it's the only story I know about the Polish Navy, I'm afraid. So invest in the old Polish region. We can't ban the Nazi Party yet, but we better get this prepared. Oh, that gives us a factory to spend straight away. All good so far. What are we short of? Support equipment. That will get filled up pretty fast. Everything needs filling up pretty fast. This is the problem. Everything's a compromise. That's sitting at 21%. So as soon as we've got the points, I think we're going to go for military appeasement for 60 days. No, we're not. That's just resistance growth speed. We want to hit one of the others and get that finished. We're going to go straight for construction too. We're going to pick up some penalties for researching ahead of time in the industry, but I feel like we absolutely need it. Let's get going. I mean, we need everything, but one thing we're going to need lots of later in the day is artillery. So I'm going to try and build up a stock for that. We currently have a shortage of tungsten, but that's okay. It's not dire yet. And that one we are going to... Should I just raid the Nazi resistance? It gets 10% compliance as well. Go for it. That makes quite a difference. That gives us an extra factory, which we'll put into... Wow, we seem to be going backwards with the support equipment here. So yeah, our initial templates aren't good enough for the job. My idea that I had with the tank destroyers, adding an armoured tank destroyer in, wasn't bad, but we don't have the industry and won't have the industry to get one into every infantry division. So I've got another plan for that. We're still going to go with a similar idea, but we're going to use medium tanks, and it's going to be a dirt cheap basic medium tank. I'll explain when we come to design one, which won't be for a little while yet. But it's just to get some armour value into some of the divisions for a very specific job. Right, so now we can probably ban the Nazi party. So let's start that. I hope I've got this right. First industry. Should we go for another one? We're ahead of time. Yeah, the actual infantry equipment and stuff. Oh, hang on, just that reminds me. Production. Yeah, let's add this in. You should be using the infantry weapons manufacturer. I noticed that before. Like most of these others, maybe it's because I selected them and this was in by default. Had the infantry, the military equipment or military industry, whatever it is. I can't remember what you call them. What do you call these stupid things? These things here. Military industrial organizations, thank you. They already have them selected, but the infantry equipment one doesn't, and I'm assuming that's because you start with that already in production. Just needs adding in. It's not a problem. But I never noticed until today. So we have our radios. Excellent. And I would kind of like... We can get early radar. Not essential. We're not too far ahead, so I'm going to go for this. I can't stress how important it is to get the industry, like, souped up as fast as possible. Oh, I also need to get anti-tank guns. Right, that's going to be my next research. Have I screwed this already? 64 days. No, okay. 64 days is enough. We've banned the Nazi party, and we're going to integrate Gdansk. And then that's going to get rid of this horrible embargoed economy, which has... It's just terrible everything. And it's going to just give us better construction speed, research speed, and I think less consumer goods factories as well. I think, does that go on that one? Actually, I don't know if that does go on that one. If we went on there, it goes to this one. Yeah, construction speed. Okay, not consumer goods factories, but factory output. So, that'll do. It's all part of the grand scheme, folks. And I just hope this pays off and we can hold the Germans back. So later on in this process, we're going to start building a lot of forts. But we have to get the... Oh, nice. So we've got that. We go straight over to anti-tanks. Because we need to build those. We absolutely need to build those. How's the construction coming along? What we can do in military factories... Oh, nice. Okay, so the anti-Comintern Pact. I'm having nothing to do with that. I don't think it'll make any difference with historical focus, because I think Germany's still going to attack. And if you upset Russia, well, they're going to attack anyway, so I just stay out of it. So we've got the Gdansk Industries, which is really good. At this point, I think I would like... would I like a research slot now? Oh, no, no, I need to remember. I've got to do this. Oh, please don't tell me I've left this too late. That's so close. Okay, 70 days, and we avoid the peasant strike. Brilliant. Yes, Britain would like to buy those planes. You are most welcome, Britain. I might want them back later. Military factory, I think at this point makes sense just to put a couple in there. And we are running low on steel, but it's not terrible yet. How's the Navy? Did we get the destroyer fixed? No. Why won't you repair now? They should be repairing. They are. Excellent. We've got that. Oh, great. Okay. So the next big thing we have to do, and this is a huge chunk of political power that we effectively have to spend. Let's make sure you get repaired as well. And it's not quite there yet. We're going to change the economy law to get rid of those consumer goods factories. And then we can really start producing stuff. As I say, it's all focused on the industry. And don't worry that the military looks like it's doing nothing. It's not, trust me. It's going to be slow, but we are doing the build-up. And this is the right way. Ah, come on, don't do that to me. Don't say there's 20 days left before there's a peasant strike. Right, that's done. I feel a whole lot better that that's done. So that's gone. We could do all sorts of things next, but we're starting to see a problem with resources. It's not quite there yet, so we'll hold off. I'm going to get I'm going to get research next. This one's debatable about whether I'm doing this in the right order, but I think it has to come. We've got to be able to get things going quickly. We do want that, but that can wait, so that's okay. The air stuff can wait. We'll upgrade that later. Navy stuff we can ignore. This can wait. Fortunately, that can wait. And that can wait, but we'll get that. So what I'm going to do is, way ahead of time, set off my medium tank research. Because it takes a long time to get that done. Oh, actually, no. Let's do that. We can do that the other way around. It's more efficient. So let's cancel that and go for the armor instead. Switch it over because the armor. We need the armor for the tank model I have in mind. And then by which point the tank design won't be so far ahead, so we'll have less of a penalty on that. Civil War in Spain. Let's see if that changes. It never goes any different, does it? It's always the same. Pause. I've messed it up. I've waited just a fraction too long. But now we change the civilian economy, the partial mobilization, and we get rid of... well, we get more civilian factories to use. It feels like an expensive change because we've got that debuff, but we absolutely have to have it. Now, these are too early to get going on now, so that's going to be not worth doing. But that looks okay in that tree for the moment. So that could bring us over to... We could play catch-up. I mean, it needs to be done. So, oh, no, trucks. We do need trucks. We absolutely need trucks on the go. And civilian factories. Did I put the military ones in? No, let's put the military ones in here. This is going to be one of the key regions that we hold. Because it's going to be ours afterwards. It's also absolutely full of resources. So we can safely build factories there. Another one. Let's put it in this until we actually get to build trucks and you know, I can put trains on. Trains might not be a bad idea. Anyway, this needs going on now. So anything in industry, yeah, we'll catch up with that. And in there we go. So we'll take... I can afford to take 2 of those out. We've got some more stuff coming. And at this point, we absolutely hammer them into anti-tank guns. of which there isn't enough materials. So I need... We're going to fix the steel next, but I'm going to trade with my good old pal Sweden for some tungsten. We'll take one lot for now. I know it's costing us a civilian factory, which we need for building stuff, but yeah, we need it, unfortunately. I should probably have updated that old design with that, but never mind. Expand the University of Warsaw. Nice. So we get that. That opens up things later. And at that point... Oh, this is a tough choice now between getting factories and getting resources. We are short on steel, and it's going to get worse. So let's do that. And it's possible that... Because this increases your aluminium as well. It's also possible... Hindenburg incident. The Hindenburg didn't blow up. That's a bad sign. Because it means Germany's got the dice on their side this time. Maybe. I don't know. And China's formed the usual... What do you call it? The United Front. Let's see if it helps them. So we've got a research slot to put in. What can we put this on? What's going to help? I don't... Well, other than that, but it's... I feel like that's expensive to spend. We should probably just upgrade stuff where we know we're going. So the other thing I could do is go here. What can we sell? Those are our new aircraft. We could sell the convoys. I'll keep some for trading with Sweden. We'll add those in. See if we can sell some. That'd be good. Also, shortage of steel. I don't think if I reduce the convoys being produced, that'll make any difference whatsoever. And they're not getting any anyway, so that's not a problem. How's the Navy doing? You need to do that. And you guys are finished. So the Navy is more or less trained. So if we wanted to, we could build submarines. You can't sell submarines and destroyers, which is a shame. I feel like you should be able to build them and sell them. Or Chinese United Front, which we're not really interested in. Latvia's buying one convoy. Just one. I wonder what they're going to go and buy with that. Siam can have them. China can have them. And Bulgaria. Well, Bulgaria. To be honest, I'll take whatever trade I can get right now. Who else? Who do we need? This ramps up pretty quick. We're gonna need a lot of anti-tank guns, so we're gonna put it in there. I should have modified. Was not one I could modify. Well, if there was, it's too late now. Oh, that was it, I think. Damn, it's... Oh, I can't do it. Okay. Okay. That's a shame. I should have done that at the time, I think.